Hey everyone out there in YouTube land, this is Annette Dion, host of the Psychic News Network. How are you all doing? There's a lot going on. Wow, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Major hurricane. When I tuned into that before it hit Hurricane Ida, it looked exactly like Katrina to me. Might have had something to do with it. It hit on the same day. That's just bizarre. Our hearts go out to the people in the path of the hurricane, particularly those in New Orleans. There are no words. It is really tragic. I'm seeing that we're, as a nation, as a world, we really do have to face the fact that there are parts of the country and the world that will become uninhabitable. And if you look at the science, global climate change says parts of Florida, gone. That whole area, Louisiana, gone. It's just the facts. And, you know, we're moving into a time, I think about the middle of next year, 2022. I think about the middle of next year, like maybe summer of next year, you'll see a shift happening where science rules. Science will dominate the national conversation for the first time in a very long time. Yeah, I do think that it's going to take till the middle of next year before we see, in a significant, marked way, that science will start to be like the final say, the thing that people go to find out what's going to go on. Besides the psychics, science and psychics, to me, they go together. Because to me, this is a science. So let's get to the news. Tomorrow's the final withdrawal day for troops in Afghanistan and the Afghan people that are refugees. I actually see not no more involvement from the United States. It won't be a war involvement. It will be I feel like it'll be I see troops still in Afghanistan, kind of like to maintain the status quo, whatever that means. And we'll take some cards to look at what the guides mean by that. I just got a hit a little while ago that the evidence, and I did say this the other day, the evidence against the Republicans that were implicit in the insurrection, the evidence, like I said the other day, it's getting really, really crystal clear to me. It's already there. The evidence is already there that the Jim Jordans and the Matt Gaetz and the Josh Hawleys, it's there. It's in the phone records. So I feel that, and I feel like, excuse me, I was going to shut that off. I'll get closer. I feel like that the Gaetz and the Jordans will go first, as if there's more than one, right? Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan, I feel like there's going to be the most evidence against them, and then that Boebert, I'm sorry. I know it's impolite to mispronounce somebody's name, but it's also impolite to praise the Taliban, and it's also impolite to fight against our government. Boebert. So she is definitely implicit. I see video of Marjorie Taylor Greene giving tours in my mind's eye. I don't know if that's an actual thing yet. I don't know if that's actually been outed, but I do see them leading tours. Was that on the news yet? Because I'm seeing it in my psychic news brain. I'm going to take a look at some cards about, I'm kind of bouncing around on different topics because there's so many. We're going to start with the January 6th Commission. Let's do that. that's going to go into full swing in around the second week in September. We're going to be hearing a lot in the news about the January 6th Commission. There'll be a lot of other news too. There will just be a big section of the news that will be about the January 6th Commission. The guys are saying they will be busted. The real question will be, and now what are we going to do about it? Because the evidence is already there. So I'm going to pick 3 cards and ask, what can we expect? By the way, I was going to do a video yesterday and I just kind of ran out of time. So I know I told you I'd be back Sunday, but you know, better late than never, right? Oh, okay. This is about the January 6th Commission. They got the goods. The Ace of Wands is the wands have to do with communication. So the Ace of Wands is saying they have the communication. And I know right now they're looking for the phone communication that happened between these Republicans and 45, and they have it. The Ace of Wands wouldn't be coming up if they didn't have it. It's all right there. It's all right there. Temperance, yeah, they're, this is interesting. Because I feel like the evidence will be there. These, you know, these guys are going to be in trouble, and these couple of gals are going to be in trouble for January 6th because they were part of it. They were absolutely part of it. They were, basically, they could have just been right in that crowd, barreling through those doors. Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I guess it's Lauren Boebert. They might as well have just been in the crowd. And they kind of were, because they were leading tours through the Capitol on a day during a time of a global pandemic when people weren't even supposed to be in there. Mind you. So Temperance is, this is a, you know, I'm picking up that they're going to be trying to sweet talk their way around things. So I see a lot of, you know, a lot of like, oh, I don't know, I don't remember, like Jim Jordan was doing. I don't know, I talk to the president all the time. I talk to the president all the time on January 6th. Well, I guess I talked to him on January 6th. Well, what'd you say? Oh, you don't remember? Well, so this is going to be them kind of trying to sweet talk their way, trying to sweeten up the equation. Oh, I didn't mean it. We didn't mean it. Can you believe it? I can't even believe I'm reading this. They're going to try to, like, snow people. Is that what you call it? Snow, like pull the wool over everyone's eyes. Yeah, right. Nice try. Queen of Pentacles, this is representing Pelosi. The guides are telling me the hand of God is working, is at work here. I feel like Nancy Pelosi, I'm picking up Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm picking up people that have crossed over to the other side. Elijah Cummings, whispering in Nancy Pelosi's ear, we need to save our democracy. And I feel like, I'm seeing like the second week in September. I'm seeing like around the 12th, around then. Plus with September 11th, the 20-year anniversary, so sad. We're coming around to 20 years of this war in Afghanistan, and the anniversary of September 11th, which started the war, which has so many different angles to what went on there, just as mind-boggling. But September 11th, 2021, I know it's hard to believe, but it's gonna get people consciously or subconsciously to remember that we united, and also to remember how dangerous it is to have terrorists, and we have domestic terrorists, and that's going to add a little bit more fuel to the fire in terms of getting these Republicans to be accountable and getting them at least out of office. Do I see jail time? Gosh, you know, I keep going back to Jim Jordan being behind bars and Matt Gaetz. We know why Matt Gaetz is going to be behind bars. I'm kind of feeling like Jim Jordan will be behind bars. The word treason and traitor are coming up. Plus, you know that he turned the other way and didn't report the sexual misconduct at the school he was a wrestling coach at, and I don't think that that's gone away. I don't think that's gone away completely. We might be told that it's gone away completely, but I see things, I see in Jim Jordan's, what's coming up for him, is the past is going to come back to haunt him. So he's not off the hook at all. And when I tune into Jim Jordan's energy, I see frantic. I see the word frantic. Completely frantic. Gates too. You know, with Matt Gates, I kind of pick up on kind of wired, really wired energy, and it almost reminds me of Don Jr., and it makes me think that he's doing stimulants, Matt Gates. Gosh, they all like, Jordan acts like he's doing speed all the time too. And 45. Bunch of druggies. It's terrible. It's terrible. I tell you. Sad. Very sad and terrible. Okay, so that's January 6th, and let's ask if they will be having to face jail time. Like I said, Jordan and Gates, I do feel like they will. Let's see if anybody else will face jail time. Yeah, the Four of Swords is they're going to run out of options in terms of how to weasel their way out of it. This is America winning this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Pentacles. This is about, and I got this card the other day. Actually, it's the same card. A lot of evidence against them. The Prince of Wands. I think I got these very same cards. Merrick Garland comes to mind with this card. So this is about January 6th. Remember, Merrick Garland said that he really wanted to get to the bottom of what happened, and I know he's been very busy. Yeah, the guides are showing me, like, if you ever like were in college and you had way too many classes and it was just like you had to just buckle down and get to all the homework and get to all the reading, and that's what Merrick Garland feels like right now. He's got like too many courses, too much of a course load to really get in there and, you know, do the exam or, you know, take the quiz. But I do see Merrick Garland involved in the January 6th situation. So the guides are saying October on that. We'll see more of that in October. All right. Let's look at, gosh, it's hard to look at that hurricane. Really concerned it's heading for Nashville, Tennessee, my other home. I mean, that's where I lived, and there's a soft spot in my heart for Nashville. And I have friends there, and the Isha Foundation ashram is in Tennessee. So that's really thoughts and prayers. I mean, I talk about Sadhguru, he's my guru. And their ashram is in Tennessee. So gosh, we really need to send good thoughts, just even if we all take a moment of silence and, you know, ask for the hand of whatever you pray to be very much a part of what's going on. Send money. Send money to the aid organizations that you feel are reputable. Okay, so the storm. I'm going to just pull 3 cards about what's the status. My sense is that it made landfall yesterday and everything, but that was only the beginning. So all the flooding is really the big problem. The Fool card. So the reason the Fool card is coming up, remember earlier I was talking about science. Science being the thing that people in the middle of next year will finally begin to see as the end-all be-all. Science. The Fool card is indicating, I hate to say it, but people trying to make money off of this disaster. I didn't think that was going to come up. Not good. However, okay, so this feels like it's representing the Biden administration, because I see the male and the female energy. So this is Joe Biden and Kamala. This is more of a case being made for the infrastructure bill. The infrastructure bill will get teeth. I like to say laws with teeth, you know. It's going to be really stronger. Now, I know that the situation in Afghanistan is horrifying. I mentioned the other day that war was costing us somewhere like around $150 million a day. And as horrible as the situation is, and as much as a lot of us think we never should have been in that war, the fact that it's ending means we're not going to be sinking as much money, well, not at all, as was going there, and we will have more resources to deal with the natural disasters that are on their way. The Fool card concerns me. The Fool card concerns me. Because this is indicating that a lot of people will be, oh gosh, I hope it's not true, will be thinking, oh, it will be fine, and will be sorry. So if you live in the track of the hurricane, don't do that. Don't do that, because it's going to turn into floods, and it's going to be widespread. I feel like it's going to be a huge area of land that will be flooding. Remember, Nashville just had that horrible flooding where people got swept away. I can't even get into details about it because it's so tragic. They just got through that. I'm telling you, that part of the country has really been hit very hard. All right, so I do see a lot more damage. And I think the Fool card coming up also indicating people trying to make money, you know, evil people trying to make money off this disaster. No, you know, I see Americans rising up like enough is enough. Well, we will see a lot of that. We will see a lot of that coming. Brings to mind the other natural disasters, the wildfires. But I want to just read a little bit more on the hurricane, on Hurricane Ida. Are we going to recover from this one? Personally, I don't think New Orleans will be rebuilt, and I'm serious about that. The Fool card came up again. They will try. That's twice the Fool card came up. I shuffle. The Nine of Cups. Actually, compassion will prevail. That's good. Yeah, the Ace of Cups. I know this is the Ace of Cups, which is normally a positive card. The Ace of Cups is also indicating flooding. It's overflowing. It's overflowing. The ground is fully saturated. I know in the Northeast here in Massachusetts, it's been the rainiest summer I remember. And I've seen like dumping rain, like sheets coming down. Not today, but all summer that kept happening. The Ace of Cups indicates the flooding. However, you know, the light does indicate that we are going to be guided by angels. We don't know why things happen the way that they do. They just do. Well, the science is this is global climate change. But as far as, I just mean, you know, the suffering and you know, the horribleness of it. If we try to figure out why it happens, we'll just drive ourselves crazy. All we can do is help. All we can do is help, you know, and encourage other people to help, and, you know, send as much money and aid as possible, and pray if that's what you're into. If you're not into that, just send good energy and visualize a good outcome. The wildfires in California, I haven't read. I did go on a bit about Lake Tahoe and how precarious that situation is. I haven't read any news about it. I feel like the place is engulfed in flames. I'm going to just pick 3 cards about that. The Devil card. This is all man-made. This is all man-made. This is, but I do see it coming together. I see the Two of Cups and the Lovers. These natural disasters, or these climate, these carbon dioxide, you know, greenhouse gas caused disasters, will take us from the evil to the good, where we stare down the evil that created these horrible situations, and that includes poor planning without anything about the environment taken into account. This is people coming together. I know they look all romantic, but you know, it's just the cards. They mean different things based on what you're asking about. So, but this is the joining of minds and love. So this leads to more love. Remember, we give thanks that darkness reminds us of light. When there's tons and tons of darkness, we really have to work for the light. All right. Now, but I see that, I just see devastation on the West Coast. Let me know, you guys, if you live out there. I know some of you do. What's happening with that? All right, so we did January 6th. We did the what's going on with the hurricane. I have said before, I see 8 pretty big hurricanes this hurricane season. What are we on now? We're on 4, I think. Henry didn't hit the Northeast like it was projected to, so who knows? Maybe it was all the prayers. Not that we weren't praying for Louisiana. It's just that here is less traditionally, historically, less likely to be hit. But you know, all those norms are off the table. Okay, so who else do we have to look at? 45. You know, losing power like sand through the hourglass. That's what I see. The guides are showing me 45 like sand through his fingers, like nothing is staying, it's pretty desperate. Nothing he's attempting to do to remedy his dire situation. 45 we're talking about. Nothing is sticking. Nothing is working anymore. He's losing power fast. And the guides are telling me actually a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's not making any sense. That's not just my opinion. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's not making any sense. He's just trying to balance things, but he's not doing a very good job. This is the law coming after him. Excuse me. This is the law. This is the law coming after him. Giuliani is gonna go. I'm picking up that Giuliani is actually not in his right mind. Rudy is not in his right mind. Excuse me, I need to cut. I got a tickle. Rudy is not in his right mind, and Rudy is going to start saying stupid stuff. The guides are showing me that Rudy Giuliani is going to come to a point where he doesn't even know what he's saying. And I think that that's been happening anyway. But he doesn't even know what he's saying is incriminating. I think Rudy Giuliani is, the guides are showing me like he's senile. I'm not even clear what that is. Is that dementia or is that something else? But yeah, you know, this just looks like the law coming after 45. And Giuliani is gonna, you know, like, it's funny, I'm saying, it's like everything's slipping through his fingers like sand, 45, and then there's sand in this, like he's trying to balance it out, but it's still, it's like that guy walking on the sand. When you're walking on sand, it doesn't feel very stable, right? That's why people like walk and run on the pavement, because sand is too, it's hard to run in the sand. So it's slipping through his fingers. I don't know how he's going to get through this. And I'm not the first psychic to talk about 45's health. Like, we're not sure if he's going to make it. I don't predict death as a policy. That's just, it's like, it's none of my business when someone's going to die. I can't be telling people that. But let's just say his health doesn't point to longevity. All right, I did not make a list. There's a lot to talk about. Afghanistan. Yeah, there are attacks being planned. This is interesting because I'm picking up. In Afghanistan, the Taliban and ISIS have attacks planned. But the guides are showing me they're physically weakened by something. Oh, could be COVID. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if I saw many of the Taliban on the news videos with masks on. Because the guides are showing me that the Taliban and ISIS are getting weaker, but it looks like they're getting physically weaker. And not able to come up with strategies. It doesn't mean that they won't attack. because they're ruthless and reckless in their attacking. It's very kind of rogue, kind of rough around the edges for sure. Just in terms of their planning and everything, the Taliban. The Devil card is coming up around Afghanistan. The terrorists are going to be held back by something. I'm not sure. And I keep on picking up the world stage. Something about the world stage. And the guides are telling me Biden got on top of something that he didn't get on top of before. It feels like this is about... See if you can follow me. When Biden decided to get out of Afghanistan, it feels like there was something imminent. And I don't really see that we're going to get the facts on this. I'm just giving you my psychic impression. A lot of stuff happens behind the scenes. Like not too long ago, I said that I saw somebody in a position of power. It was a female. I thought it was Angela Merkel, giving Joe Biden an earful, being angry that he withdrew from Afghanistan the way that he did. But I get this sense that he did it the way that he did to avert a worse disaster, and we may never know about that. Anyway, that's just my impression. Oh, this is for entertainment purposes only, by the way. And I actually see the Taliban and ISIS, the terrorists, not being able to function for some reason. Is it biological warfare? It's very confusing. I'm going to pull 3 more cards about this. Not that they're, inoperable, because they're not inoperable, but I really just feel a big wrench in the works in what they're attempting to do. It could be that foreign intelligence, our allies' foreign intelligence uncovers some things that maybe some terrorist cells that really give them a lot less leverage and power. So let's hope that that's true. But I really feel like there was more behind Biden's decision to do this the way that he did. And the guys are saying it averted an even greater disaster. So we'll just go with that. The 5 of Pentacles, yeah, see, the World card is coming up. When you think about the sophistication of the amount of intelligence that the United States has, it's pretty sophisticated. And then what our allies have, it's, I feel like our allies joining together with our intelligence, our military intelligence in Afghanistan is going to, it's not going to like be a miraculous quick, like everything's glory hallelujah, not like that, but definitely it stymies the terrorists in some way. It makes it a lot more difficult for them to execute their plans of execution. The Star, I say this is a card for America, like Revealing Light. Marianne calls this the card for America, and I agree, this feels like the card for America. I see us becoming somber and subdued and kind of keeping a low profile a little bit about Afghanistan. There'll be a lot of difficulty in Afghanistan. A lot of sadness around those poor families that lost their soldiers, their loved ones. It's a time of mourning. I mean, we really are in a time of mourning. We have to do what we can to help each other. We do have to pray. And I apologize to anybody who doesn't like the word pray. But, putting our thoughts on what we want to see happen really does work. So, that's real interesting about... At first I got that it was a physical hindrance. To the terrorists in Afghanistan have a physical hindrance. And then I'm like, well, it would make sense that it would be COVID. If they're not well, they can't really fight. We'll look at that a little bit more another day. So speaking of COVID, tuning in to Florida a little bit and to DeSantis. I also got a hit, another hit is coming. I feel a hurricane coming to the east coast of Florida. I feel like these things are going to dovetail. DeSantis will have so much to deal with that he won't be able to deal with it. Remember, I keep saying that I see him being taken away? Let's take a look at Florida. And then we're going to take a look at voting rights too, real quick. I don't want to keep you too long. This is a devastation that DeSantis is going to be facing, not just around COVID, but I feel, and I haven't checked the weather, I haven't checked the next hurricane that's coming up. I don't even know what it is. It's got to be H-I-J. It's got to be J. Unless they retired J. I don't think they did. DeSantis is going to have too much on his plate. There's a woman governor moving in who's going to speak the language that the people of Florida want to hear. And it's about healing. It's about healing. It's about no more hatred. Let's heal. Now, we know that we're not thinking of a utopia here in Florida, but we're just looking at, which way things are going to lean. And I do see a female governor of Florida coming in. I don't know when that's going to be. I have to look it up. When is their election for a new governor? Remember Gavin Newsom, last time I did a reading, I see him staying in after a big scare. And in terms of like the other guy, Elder, looks like he's going to get in. I think I see some nefarious activity there in California in terms of their governor. But Newsom will come out ahead. I think Democrats are going to come out in huge numbers, even if they were complacent in the past. So, Hurricane J? Maybe it's called J. COVID. I'm picking cards on COVID. We will see, once again, tons of challenges with COVID. I know there's another variant. I don't see the new, like the Lambda variant of COVID getting as much traction as Delta. I had said before that Delta was going to be the worst. And I really do think that we're seeing that. And it's really despicable that these governors aren't letting people have mask mandates. But that's changing too. Several times ago I said that I saw lawsuits against Abbott and DeSantis. I said that several times. The sun is, we'll get in a better place by, I hate to say next year, but we'll get in a better place with COVID by, I feel like February. I'm not saying it's over, and I know a few of you have asked, do I really think it's not going to be till January 2024 before we see the end of COVID? And yes, it's still, that's still what I see. I will take a quick peek at voting rights and then I will let you go. It's late. I don't know how it got so late so fast. It's 9:30 p.m. in New England. Okay. Voting rights. There comes a time when the people show up in such great numbers that they cannot be ignored or pushed aside. And that's a big lesson for America right now. We all need to just sort of take a deep time of deep reflection individually and say, okay, here comes Elijah Cummings. When you're dancing with the angels in heaven, the question will be asked, what did you do to save our democracy? He's probably guiding a lot of this, as is John Lewis. And I just feel Ruth Bader Ginsburg too. And some of the Kennedys, I feel. Their spiritual energy guiding this voting rights thing. And I just feel them saying, like, when you start getting out there and marching on the streets and protesting taking away our voting rights, things will change. That's good news. See, I saved it for the end. Now, don't get thrown off by all the horrible things that are happening with voting. They're not going to stick. They don't have sticking power. And it's going to be because all those people get out on the streets and they activate. You know, when people get desperate, they activate. That's kind of what happens. The death card. It'll be the end. Yeah, this indicates a big transformation around the voting rights situation. The strength. Power to the people. I got this the other day too. The Two of Wands. We will stand united. The people will stand united. I don't mean all the Republicans and Democrats are going to come together, but some will for this, for voting rights. Because we're not saying you have to vote for a Democrat. They're saying you have to vote for a Republican, and if you don't, then we're going to change your vote. That's the clincher that's going to get everyone on the streets. But yeah, the death card indicates, look, I have death and strength. The death to these, not literal death, an end to this ridiculousness. Several months ago, I said that I saw the filibuster being thrown out for at least this issue for voting rights. So I haven't heard what's going on with that. But the strength card is the people have the power. That should give you some inspiration, I hope. Okay, time to go. But before I go, tarot classes from a real medieval castle on the coast of Massachusetts. hammondcastle.org, HAMMOND castle.org is where you sign up to register for this online class. It's in person too, but a lot of people are going to take it from a distance. And if you have any questions, you can email me, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. We're working out the technology now. We should be all set by Wednesday. It starts Wednesday, September 1st. We will take some late enrollers. That's not going to be a problem if you missed the first one. And I hope to see you there. So you can register, hammondcastle.org. Please call if you'd like your own personal psychic tarot card reading. It's AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. Thank you so much for following my channel. I guess I should throw out there to please like and subscribe and share and tell your friends and all that. That's my shameless self-promotion. I'm trying it on. Love you guys. See you in a couple days. Namaste.